Hello, fellow numismatists, and welcome, treasure hunters. Today, we're diving into something truly special that might be hiding in plain sight, perhaps even in your pocket change right now. While most of us walk around with pennies we consider nearly worthless, I'm about to show you three specific Lincoln cents that could be worth thousands of dollars each. These aren't ancient coins from centuries past. They're modern pennies from 1965, 2001, and 2006 that, due to fascinating minting errors or unique circumstances, have become the holy grails of contemporary coin collecting. Let's start our journey with what might be the most valuable modern penny of them all, the legendary 1965 silver penny. The year 1965 marks a pivotal moment in American coinage history. The U.S. Mint was transitioning away from silver in its dimes, quarters, and half dollars due to rising silver prices. But while this change was happening, something extraordinary occurred with a small batch of pennies. They were accidentally struck on silver dime planchets. Let me take you back to the chaotic mint floors of 1965. Workers were handling both the new clad dimes and the traditional copper pennies simultaneously. In the confusion of this transition period, a few blank silver dime planchets somehow found their way into the penny presses. The result? A penny with the Lincoln Memorial design stamped onto silver-colored metal instead of copper. What makes this error so significant is the perfect storm of circumstances that created it. The U.S. Mint was under tremendous pressure to produce enough coins during a nationwide coin shortage. They were running 3 shifts a day, 7 days a week. Quality control, while normally stringent, had weak points during this frantic production schedule. When you hold a genuine 1965 silver penny, the first thing you'll notice is the weight. A standard copper penny weighs 3.11 grams, while these silver error coins weigh about 2.5 grams, closer to a dime's weight. The color is unmistakably silver rather than copper, and the diameter is slightly smaller than a regular penny. Under magnification, you might also notice that the strike isn't quite as sharp as a normal penny, since the design wasn't intended for the silver planchet. The market value of these rarities is staggering. While a typical 1965 penny is worth exactly 1 cent, these silver errors have sold for $7,000 to $9,000 in uncirculated condition. At a heritage auction in 2019, one particularly pristine specimen reached $12,650. Even in circulated condition showing wear, these coins command prices of $2,000 to $3,000. What fascinates me most about the 1965 silver penny is how it represents a moment of human error within a massive government operation. The U.S. Mint strikes billions of coins each year with remarkable precision, yet these rare mistakes remind us that perfection remains elusive even in our most controlled systems. Many collectors have spent decades searching for these elusive treasures. Tom Stackhouse, a notable error coin collector from Pennsylvania, spent 37 years before finding his first authentic 1965 silver penny. He describes the moment as better than winning the lottery because of the historical significance attached to the coin. The condition of these coins dramatically affects their value. A 1965 silver penny in mint state, MS 65 or better, can be worth 5 times more than one in circulated condition. The toning is also crucial. Natural silver toning that develops over time adds to the coin's appeal and authenticity, while artificial toning can significantly decrease value. Be cautious, though. The market is flooded with counterfeits, particularly pennies that have been plated with silver or mercury to mimic the appearance of the genuine error. A simple test is to check with a magnet. Real silver pennies won't stick. Also, the weight test is crucial, as mentioned earlier. There's a fascinating story about a janitor at the Philadelphia Mint who reportedly discovered several of these error coins in the 1970s while cleaning the facility. He kept them for years, not realizing their value until a coin dealer friend identified them. His collection of 7 1965 silver pennies sold for a combined $53,000 in 1991. The U.S. Mint has never officially acknowledged exactly how many of these coins escaped into circulation, which adds to their mystique. Numismatic experts estimate that fewer than 50 authentic examples exist, making this one of the rarest modern coin errors. Some speculate that the actual number could be even lower, perhaps just 20 to 30 coins. If you think you might have one of these treasures, look for a penny with a distinctly silver appearance, test its weight, and consider having it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. The investment in authentication is well worth it considering the potential value. What I find most compelling about the 1965 silver penny is how it represents the intersection of history, human error, and incredible luck. It's a tangible artifact from a time when America's coinage was undergoing a fundamental change, and it carries with it the stories of mint workers, collectors, and lucky finders who've held these rare pieces over the decades. For our final rare penny, we're looking at something truly special, a coin that was never meant to reach your pocket at all. The 2006 satin finish Lincoln penny represents one of the most peculiar chapters in modern U.S. coinage, and finding one in circulation is like discovering a backstage pass that accidentally fell into the audience. Let me set the stage for you. In 2005, the U.S. Mint began producing special satin finish versions of circulating coins exclusively for annual uncirculated mint sets that collectors could purchase directly from the mint. These coins received a special finishing process that gave them a distinct satin-like appearance, less shiny than proof coins, but with a more refined finish than regular circulation strikes. They were never intended for general circulation. The 2006 satin finish pennies were created solely for these special mint sets. They have no mint mark, indicating they were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and feature a distinctive finish that's immediately recognizable to the trained eye. The surface has a soft, matte-like appearance rather than the typical shiny finish of regular pennies. Under magnification, you can see the satin finish has a uniform, almost frosted texture created by microscopically fine lines in the die surface. How did these special coins end up in circulation? That's where the mystery begins. The most plausible explanation is that some collector-purchased mint sets were eventually broken up, with the coins finding their way into regular cash registers and change jars. Another theory suggests that a small number may have accidentally been mixed with regular production coins at the mint before distribution. According to U.S. Mint records, only 248,000 of these satin finish pennies were produced in 2006, a tiny number compared to the billions of regular pennies minted that year. With such a limited mintage, and considering most remain safely stored in their original mint sets, finding one in circulation is extraordinarily rare. The market value of these coins reflects their scarcity. While a regular 2006 penny is worth exactly 1 cent, a 2006 satin finish penny in uncirculated condition can sell for $25 to $50. Examples professionally certified in MS 67 or higher grades have fetched over $100 at auction. Even circulated examples showing where can command $5 to $10 from knowledgeable collectors. What makes the 2006 satin finish penny particularly fascinating is how it represents a distinct production method that was never meant for the general public to handle in everyday transactions. It's a peek behind the curtain at the Mint's special collector offerings that have escaped into the wild. I love sharing the story of Maria Conrad, a cashier from Wisconsin who noticed an unusual-looking penny in her register in 2018. Having just watched a YouTube video about rare pennies, perhaps not unlike the one you're watching now, she recognized the distinctive satin finish and set the coin aside. After having it authenticated, she sold it to a local coin dealer for $35. Not a fortune, but certainly a nice return on a 1-cent investment. What's particularly intriguing about these coins is that they're modern enough that the distinctive finish hasn't been completely worn away on most examples that have entered circulation. Unlike some older rarities that might be difficult to identify after decades of handling, the satin finish remains at least partially visible on most specimens, making them identifiable even to collectors with limited experience. The 2006 satin finish penny also has an interesting place in numismatic history as part of the final years of the Lincoln Memorial reverse design, which would be replaced in 2010 by the Union Shield reverse after the special Lincoln bicentennial designs of 2009. This transition period adds another layer of historical significance to these already special coins. For collectors, these pennies present an interesting challenge. They're rare enough to be valuable, but recent enough that complete documentation exists about their production. They're distinctive enough to be identified, but similar enough to regular issues that they could be overlooked. This combination makes them perfect quarry for the modern treasure hunter searching through rolls of pennies or examining change. When looking for these coins, pay particular attention to the overall luster. Regular 2006 pennies have a bright, sometimes slightly mottled appearance, while the satin finish examples have a uniform, soft sheen that's immediately distinctive once you know what to look for. The rims and edges will also show the same satin texture, unlike regular strikes, which typically have more shine on the edges. The hunt for these pennies isn't just about potential financial reward, though that's certainly exciting. It's about connecting with history, developing an eye for detail, and experiencing the thrill of discovery. Each time you find a penny in your change, you're being handed a tiny piece of American craftsmanship that carries with it the potential for hidden value. So keep your eyes open, friends. That penny you're about to drop in a tip jar or leave in a take-a-penny tray might be worth thousands. Happy hunting, and until next time, keep checking that change. Now let's fast forward a few decades to another extraordinary penny that's captivating the modern collecting world, the 2001 double-die obverse Lincoln cent. Unlike our silver penny from 1965, this treasure doesn't announce itself with a different color or weight. Its value lies in the tiniest of details that tell an incredible story of modern minting precision gone slightly awry. The double-die error occurs during the hub and die preparation process, long before any coins are actually struck. To understand this error, we need to peek behind the curtain at the U.S. Mint's production process. The designs for coins start as large sculptures that get reduced down to create a master hub. This hub then creates working hubs, which create working dies, which finally strike the actual coins. If the die shifts slightly between impressions during this multiple-step process, you get doubling in the final design. What makes the 2001 double-die penny particularly special is that it happened during a time when the Mint had largely eliminated such errors through technological improvements. The computerized design and minting processes introduced in the late 20th century were supposed to make double-die errors a thing of the past. Yet nature finds a way, or in this case, human error and mechanical imprecision still manage to create these fascinating variants. When examining a 2001 double-die penny, you'll need magnification. This isn't something you'll spot with the naked eye. The doubling is most prominent in the letters of Liberty and in the date. Look closely at the word Liberty, and you'll see a slight secondary impression, almost like a shadow, particularly on the LI and TY. The date also shows distinctive doubling, especially in the final one. The motto, "In God We Trust," may also exhibit some doubling, though typically not as pronounced. The market for these 2001 double-die pennies has been steadily growing over the past 2 decades. While not as valuable as our 1965 silver penny, these can still command impressive prices. A certified example in mint state condition, MS 65 or higher, can sell for $200 to $500, with the finest examples occasionally breaking the $1,000 barrier. Even in circulated condition, these pennies can be worth $50 to $100. Not bad for something that was meant to be worth just 1 cent. What fascinates me about the 2001 double-die penny is how it represents the meeting point between modern technology and traditional minting challenges. Despite all our technological advances, we still occasionally create the same kinds of errors that have been occurring since the early days of machine-struck coinage in the 1800s. There's an incredible story about how these were first discovered. A collector named Billy Crawford from Ohio was examining rolls of 2001 pennies under his microscope, something he did regularly as a hobby, when he noticed the subtle doubling on several coins from the same roll. He initially thought he might be seeing things, but after confirming the error on multiple specimens, he reached out to error coin expert Ken Potter, who verified the discovery. Crawford's meticulous attention to detail changed his life. The initial coins he found and had certified sold for enough to help put his daughter through college. Unlike some dramatic mint errors that are discovered immediately, the 2001 double-die penny flew under the radar for nearly a year before the collecting community became widely aware of it. This means many examples likely entered circulation unnoticed, and some could still be sitting in coin jars and penny rolls across America. The population of these error coins is difficult to estimate. The U.S. Mint struck over 5 billion pennies in 2001 between the Philadelphia and Denver mints, but the double-die variety only affects coins from Philadelphia, those without a mint mark, and only those struck with the affected die pair. Numismatic experts believe somewhere between 15,000 and 50,000 examples may exist, making it rare, but not impossibly so. This creates that sweet spot for collectors, scarce enough to be valuable, yet common enough that finding one remains a realistic possibility. Condition plays a crucial role in the value of these coins. The doubling is most visible on unworn coins, so mint state examples carry significant premiums. Even the difference between a MS 63 and MS 65 grade can double or triple the value. Professional grading is almost essential for these coins, as the subtle nature of the doubling makes authentication difficult for the average collector. Here's a fascinating detail that many people don't know. There are actually several different stages of the 2001 double die penny. As the die wore down during use, the doubling characteristics changed slightly. The earliest strikes show the strongest doubling, while later strikes from the same die pair show progressively less pronounced doubling. Specialists in the field have identified at least 3 distinct stages, with the earliest stage commanding the highest premiums. What I love most about the 2001 double die penny is that it reminds us to pay attention to the details. In our rushing world, we often overlook the tiny imperfections that might actually be incredibly valuable. This penny rewards the patient observer, the person willing to slow down and really examine what others might dismiss as ordinary. And isn't that a beautiful metaphor for life itself?